Welcome back. We are back. Thank you so much for joining me here on Mary Walter Radio, the live cast. It's great to have you here. Thank you. And Oliver is here with me. I don't know if, oh, there he is. You can see his little head. So I'm waiting for Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer. He'll be joining us. And do I look dark? Oh no. Anyway, so I hope everybody had a great week. I'm sorry I didn't do a podcast on Tuesday, but I was skiing and we had dinner reservations. So I did not get to do the podcast. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed. If you've not done so, please do. If you have not liked the podcast, the live cast, when you watch them or listen to them, please do. You can get the audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. A huge thank you to Sal and to Rebecca and to Gregory, and I'm sure I'm forgetting people who have, retweeted the posts of when I'm going to be on, and who also commented today when I was on with Todd Starnes earlier. I have a standing hit on Todd Starnes' show on Tuesday evenings between 5 and 6, so I was a little late today, but I was there. Just some housekeeping. Thursday, I am in for David Webb on SiriusXM Patriot Channel from 9 a.m. to noon. And on Friday, I'm in for Mike Slater on Breitbart News Daily, also on Sirius Patriot Channel 125 from 6 to 9 a.m. So I don't know if I'll be doing any more Newsmax TV in there. I don't know. A lot of times it's like, hey, could you do this today? So a lot of it is last minute. But please, if you don't, follow me on X at Mary Walter Radio. And I always try to post my schedule as soon as I know it there. So look who's here. One of my favorite people, Tony Shaffer.
Hey, good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, Mary? I'm good.
Doing
How are
great.
you?
Thank you. Good. I'm glad you're here to join me. Because we got a lot to talk about. But before we talk about that, though, before we get into it, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. And this is a public service announcement. Have you had these things? These are caramel cold brew M&Ms.
I like the peanut ones because I'm nutty.
We have the peanut or peanut butter.
Peanut. Well, I like peanut butter, but I like Reese's cups for that. So,
right, but they have peanut butter M&Ms too.
I've seen those. Yeah, I haven't tried that.
Yeah, so. These are, Oliver loves them too. These are absolutely amazing. This is breakfast in a delicious candy. So it tastes like caffeine with caramel in it and chocolate. And I could eat this entire bag during this show in one sitting and be done like halfway through. They're so good. But we have to order them on Walmart. We can't get them in the grocery store near us. So we have to order them online.
Weird.
So they're so good. Oh my gosh. These were invented by the devil. Because they are deadly. They're fantastic. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. We brought them on the plane with us when we went out to Montana. And I had at least a couple every morning for breakfast, along with a peanut butter Oreo, a Reese's peanut butter Oreo. I don't know if you had those. It was okay. It was a little dry. I could only do it with coffee and I had to dunk it. A little dry. These are way better. These are so good. So there's that. Now, let's see. I want to see who's here because I want to see if Rebecca is here. Who's here? Kate's here. She missed the show last week. She's here from Ireland, Tony. So
Ireland. I love Ireland.
Watching your back is here. He says, welcome back, Tony.
Hey.
Our driver, Kate, says, Kate, she was on vacation last week. I was out in Montana wishing I was in New Jersey where all the snow was. Sal's here. Star Driver says, Your Majesty. Here's Rebecca. Good evening and welcome back, you all. So I want you to look at that pretty face and I want you to look at this. I received a package from Miss Rebecca. Now they look like high top Converse, right?
Are they made of M&Ms?
No. Oh. She knitted these. These. They're slippers. They fit. I do have like little feet, but these are amazing. And they're too nice to wear in the house. I'm afraid to wear them because I'm afraid that this one here, my lap pillows to scratch everything, would go after them in a heartbeat. But look at, so Rebecca, thank you so much. These are unbelievable. And she like whipped them up and sent them in like a week. Because she was asking what my favorite color was. And I'm like, I'm a mood kind of girl. Sometimes I like red. Sometimes I like blue. Sometimes I like black when I'm feeling like my soul is dead. So thank you so much, Rebecca. You are amazing. And I cannot believe you made these. My husband's looking at them. He's like, wait, where did she buy these? I'm like, no. She made these. So see, like when your foot goes in, they're not pushed out to my feet. There we go. There we go. So they're actual wearable slippers. Although with the soft bottom, I would probably kill myself because I have wooden floors in this house. So I probably
that's
go,
tough.
bam.
Hold on, keep talking. I'll be right back. I gotta get a pizza out of the oven.
That's what I love about this live cast. It's so casual. I've got the perfect dessert for Tony though. So Rebecca, you are so insanely talented. I love you. I love these. I wanted to take them to Montana with me, but I was afraid that something would happen. So I wanted to take them to Montana because I knew we would have carpet where we stayed. And so amazing. Thank you. So I really appreciate you. Ron is here. Let's see. Yitzhak. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Star says hello. He says, hi, Oliver. No injuries this time. Ron was worrying if there were injuries. I fell once skiing, and that's only because my boot was not all the way in the ski, and I slid and went whomp straight out of the ski with my boot. I was just like, oh my gosh, it looked like you were hit with a sniper. And I said, no, my boot just, what is that? Oh, I don't know what that is on my jacket. My boot, I just skied right out of my ski, just right out. But everything was fine. Carter's here. Hey, Carts. Natax USA. All right. Tony's been a busy man. Newsmax's #1 war expert. Yes,
Thank you. No, it's been great. They let us say what we need to say, which is great. And this is going to sound a bit weird, but Russia Channel 1, Moscow Channel 1 requested me to come on because they've heard me saying things about Putin being a thug, just saying. And Chris Ruddy let me do it because they didn't, my contract didn't prohibit me, but I thought I'd just better check. And he said, yeah, go do it. So it was kind of interesting. So just saying.
Nice. Yes, we're both Newsmax contributors. Yay.
Yeah.
Finally. You've been for a long time.
Because this weekend was nuts because I was literally up doing things at 5:15, and then I had to be doing things till 11:15. So it can be pretty grueling some days. So
yeah, but no, this is your Olympics. Come on, this is what you're made for.
And then I get to go on with our friend Chris Plant on the Right Squad. So
oh yeah, Chris. He was my soulmate at that radio station we worked at in DC. Art is here saying, hey girl. Rebecca said I made her blush. It's so true. Do all Persian professionals lie like rugs? Cart says, I know you'll wear them. Yes. Oh, look at you're lovely. Some people here, I'm just not giving you the attention. Suze loves the slippers there, Rebecca. As Donald Trump said, we were born to help people. All right, Sal would like to ask you a question. Let's get right into it. Since Democrats will do all they can to impede Trump's legal authority concerning Iran, do you think they will subpoena commanding officers and Joint Chiefs?
So, having been someone who has had to testify, they don't have to show up unless the Department of War says they need to. So, they can subpoena all they want, but the Department of War can give any number of reasonable declinations to say, yeah, no, person's not available. So they will, in course, be briefed on things, and that's the first thing. If you have a subpoena, you have to have ostensibly a reason to subpoena them, which means a hearing. And at this point, I can't foresee anything that would force anybody to show up that Trump doesn't want to show up. And I know most of the people involved. I don't know General Kane, but he's a good guy. So, and he's showed up several times. Admiral Bradley, the commander of Central Command, these guys will show up and talk about what's going on, but I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Very interesting because they're going to subpoena everybody they possibly can. If they win the House and the Senate, it's Trump's agenda stops immediately, and it will just be subpoena, and lawfare. What's amazing to me is that Trump has gotten the Democrats to side with radical Muslim.
Every bad cause.
But just because they But see, okay, so I want to ask you this, Tony, and I know you've been
Yeah.
super busy, so you probably haven't been on social media much. But
Oh, I've been
do
on
you
social.
see what? Okay, I see a lot of videos from a lot of people, especially Black people, a lot of Black people who are saying, I don't recognize the Democrat Party anymore.
Right.
Who are you? What? And there was one video of an Iranian woman, and she was on Newsmax, and she said, I'm a Democrat. Oh no, she was not on. Wasn't on Newsmax. I want to say she was on CNN. She was on CNN, and they had to sit through this, which was great. And she was saying, I've been a Democrat my whole life. As long as I've lived in this country, I'm a Democrat. I'm like, of course, because they register as soon as you walk in the door. And she said, but I don't recognize my party. What do you stand for? Do you stand for throwing gay people off roofs? Do you stand for girls not being allowed to get an education? Do you, what do I just don't recognize them anymore. So do you see this move by President Trump to having multiple benefits, not just kneecapping the Iranian regime?
Well, let me break that down into three pieces. As an elected official in North Carolina, I deal with Democrats
Yes.
all the time. Like last night, I am on a board of commissioners, and there's two Democrats out of the seven. So I have a great relationship with my Democrat colleagues. Why? Because they're all buy into all the different woke stuff that's going on. And as someone who served with the Black community, I'm actually very close, and you might laugh at this, to the president of the NAACP. I love her, and she loves me, and we get along very well. And I think she speaks out often about how the entitlement that the Democrats preach now is counterproductive. The idea that people are owed things, and it's not good. So that's the first thing. And one of the things I pointed out before I was elected is that all this money going to illegal aliens, that technically could be going to minority communities which are in need. Just saying. And they've recognized that, the rational Democrats recognize that. Then you move on to Iran. There's been tons of Iranian Americans on uh, legacy media talking about how disappointed they are in their party about opposing Donald Trump's effort in Iran. And this is something, I think I sent you the text. If not, I'll send it to you. I posted on this today regarding why we're doing the Iran effort. It is to free the Persian people, to the bottom line. And I'm not a neocon. I got all these people, oh, you turn neocon instantly. It's like, no, I'm still anti-war. It's just I do recognize, like President Trump and others, sometimes military force is required to achieve political gains, political outcomes. So that's the other thing. I don't understand how the Democrats are against the idea that many of them, to include Bill Kristol, um, uh,
Oh
Hillary
yeah.
Clinton, had all said, "Oh, if I get in, I'm gonna attack Iran." It's like, okay, we're attacking Iran at a time of our choosing, and being pretty effective about it, and now it's bad. So, as our friend Chris Plant says, if not for double standards, they'd have no standards at all, right? I mean,
Of course.
and,
Yeah.
and and the
Yeah.
last point regarding the current Democrats is that they're completely irrational. I mean, again, if you just look at what they want. They want to destroy women's rights because they want to put men in your bathrooms and your safe places. It's like, okay, that's really supporting women.
Yeah.
They want to do things to make communities less safe, like Spamberg in Fairfax,
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Had a guy get released who just stabbed a woman out at random. You've had incidents in New Jersey. It's horrible. So I think there's no way, there's no rationality left in any of the national Democrats, as far as I can tell at this point. And I don't know what the midterms hold, but anybody who votes for a Democrat right now at the national level cannot be rational. Just saying. So
Yeah, what I fear with the midterms is you're going to see like Kathy Hochul. She's going to tell Mem Donnie no, 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 no. With he wants to raise the taxes, wants to do this, wants to do that, and then she gets reelected, and then she goes hard left, and she gives Mondami whatever he wants. And I think that that's the game. Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill, our helicopter pilot, they campaigned as moderates, right? I'm a moderate Democrat. They campaigned where they campaigned. They really didn't campaign much, and they campaigned as moderates. And then when they get in, boom, 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 it's all far left stuff. And the fact that people haven't learned that yet is really frightening to me. Like, well, but they don't pay a lot of attention. We live this. This is our job. We live politics. Most people don't. And so, when it comes to election time, maybe like the day before they go to the polls, they're like, so who's running? And unfortunately, that's the way it is. Art, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say to that point, people like you and I have a certain following, which are loyal, and I appreciate that. But the problem is, I got a Bucky shirt from Texas. Yeah,
he loves your Bucky shirt.
Well, as a matter of fact, a quick story on that before I go on with the answer. So my friend Susan Olson, you might know her as one of the stars of the Brady Bunch.
Cindy.
And I had this on one day, and she texted me. It's like, I need a Bucky's t-shirt. So my son happened to be going cross country. It's like, hey, pick up a t-shirt I got her too. So that's everybody wants Bucky shirts, even if they're not in Texas. Just saying. Anyway,
I have never been in a Bucky's ever, and I've only recently heard about it because it's on social media. That's the only time I've only recently heard about it. Listen, I live in the capital of Wawa here.
So I like Wawa too, but they're not Bucky's. I mean, you need to get out to a Bucky's. It's like the waiting room to heaven. If you ever die, you got to go through a Bucky's.
I thought that was Florida. I thought Florida was heaven's waiting room.
Well, they got Bucky's in Florida too. Just saying. Anyway, my point being is it's a great place. But back to this issue regarding the Democrats. So you and I spend a lot of time. I've got a degree in political science, and I'd like to believe, and I do reach out to the left all the time. I'm always trying to get out. And what's funny, you have a show, I have a show. No Democrats will come on my shows. It's like we invite people all the time. The only guy that comes on occasion is my friend Matt Ho, who's a Green Party guy, who the Democrats went after too here in North Carolina. Just saying, and it's just they don't want to debate on facts. They want to basically focus on feelings, and that's how they get elected. They lie. They focus on people's emotions, and once they end, it's like, yeah, never mind. We're going to do what we want.
Exactly. That's 100%. Porch View Farm is here. Paul is here. I could never ski. I do well to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Carts, did you go to Big Sky? Yes, of course. I won't be going there for much longer because California and the Kardashians have found it. Let's see. I want to get out of this. Star Driver says, Todd says, this is not an illegal war. It's an undocumented skirmish and trash takeout. It's not a war. I mean, this has been 4 days. Obama was in Lebanon, was it, for 7 months? Was that Lebanon?
Libya.
Oh, Libya. I knew it was an L. I was close. Lebanon, Libya, whatever. I couldn't find either one on a map. Beck Warney says hello to you. She's in Australia.
I love Australia. I'm on Channel 9 in Australia. I'm a contributor, believe it or not, to Channel 9 Today Show. Yeah, I'm actually all the time on. And Carl and Sarah, check out. They know who Carl and Sarah are. They're the morning folks, and they're fun. And we always
That's hilarious. How did that happen? Wait, I got it. How the hell did you become a contributor on a morning show in Australia?
I have no idea. It just happened. No, I'm serious. It's like,
that's awesome.
I get requests all the time, and I turn down most because I just don't have time. And obviously, Mothership Newsmax gets most of my time because I work for them, but they don't care about international. So about 2 years ago, I started getting these requests from Australian Channel 9. It's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And so I started going on with them for free. And before too long, it's like, man, we love you. You need to, and I get along with their anchors. We make fun. And so apparently I had the right temperament to be on with them. And they said, oh, we want you to be exclusive, because I started having other Australian channels want me to come on. It's like, no, we want you to be exclusive. So it's kind of cool. So yeah,
that is very cool.
It is cool.
That's kind of fabulous.
Cool. Yeah. My son, awesome. Ryan, loved it because, he's like 18, 19. He loves it that all of his friends know me from Australia. Okay. That's
He has a
good.
lot of friends
So
in
it's fun.
Australia. All right.
Apparently, apparently.
Watching Your Back says, with a chance that the former Shah's family returning to the country, are there Iranians that are concerned about the type of regime his father ran, even though pro-Western?
You know, I don't think people would worry about that. They just worry about the fact that the current regime murders their own citizens. I mean, I'm not saying the Shah was pristine. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that the lessons learned from any extremist government would result in, I think, a move towards democracy. Let me say this, and I'm not saying this to be harsh. Iran has no tradition of democracy, zero, in its
Right.
entire history. Uh, there's always been essentially some form of a strong man or strong government in place. So, and even now with the theocracy, that's not really a democracy. So, I think it's one of those things that I do believe the Persian people, as a society, are sufficiently sophisticated and mature to recognize how important a democracy, even if it's not based on our Jeffersonian democracy, even if they go with the European style, it's better than what they have. So, I'd like to believe that the Shah and his family, not the Shah has already said that the Palaver has already said he would only go in as a transitional figure, that he would not be the guy ruling the country. So I think
Right.
that's all.
Yeah, and I like that President Trump has been very adamant. Mike Johnson has said it. Marco Rubio has said we are not doing regime change here. It's up to them to figure it out, just like it is in Argentina, Venezuela, right? We're not installing anybody. We're letting them figure it out. And if they can live with this transitional government
Yeah.
in Venezuela, good for them. That's great. Same thing. It's going to be the same thing in Iran.
Yeah. Well, let me explain something that I was texting with a senior Pentagon official today, just saying about this because of a speech that was given yesterday. Anyway, the tweet I sent out basically outlined why we acted, and this is something I felt I needed to clarify because people were, oh, you're a neocon now. I'm not a neocon. The Sunni, as a religious sect, have had a very apocalyptic view of the world. They believe in what's called the 12th Imam, the Mahdi, and the return of the Mahdi is their version of the return of Jesus Christ. The Mahdi, this 12th Imam, is supposed to be the political successor to Allah. Big deal. And their belief in their version of Islam, and by the way, there's a Sunni Shia split that goes back 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Uh, as Billy Joel said, we didn't start the fire. We didn't. But these guys have had this belief that they're chosen by Allah to carry forward and do this deed to reconcile Islam, which means basically defeating the Shia, the Sunni, our allies, and putting it all back together. And Mary, the way they're supposed to do that is by creating the end of the world. And I'm not kidding. So when you see them going for nuclear weapons, they're going for nuclear weapons because they want to use them. This is like the scene at the end of Beneath the Planet of the Apes when they're about to set off the nuclear bomb. They plan on setting it off. Not that I'm
Yeah.
comparing them to the underground dwellers in Planet of the Apes. I think the Planet of the Apes people were more sophisticated. Just saying, but uh, what I am saying is that they are a death cult, and their ultimate objective, based on their theoretical and theocratic view of the world, was to bring about the end times to cause the re-emergence of a single Islamic faith. That's what they were going for. That's why there was no deterrence, no fun, no bribery, no trying to get them to take one of the off ramps. That's why I believe we had to act.
So, let's talk about that. By the way, I didn't tell everybody that you were the president of Project Sentinel and you're with the London Center for Policy Research. I told them where to find you at T Spooky, but I forgot those two
Yeah.
titles, and I apologize. I was so excited
problem.
about the M&Ms and the slippers, I forgot. So I'm a terrible host. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So I got the impression that last week Chuck Schumer came out and said he had a briefing on Iran, and this was before any of the bombs dropped, and he said this is serious. We need to have further discussions. So what he found, he said, what I found out was serious, and it was a totally different Chuck Schumer at that point. It was not the I don't think it was the partisan Chuck Schumer. He came out and just said that to the reporters and left. So we had that. But I get the impression that this had to be done now because there was an imminent nuclear attack on either Israel or possibly the United States or whatever it was going to be, because Iran was at that point and they must have had some kind of intel that said that it was imminent. And so they had to act. At the same time, we know that the intel gathering has been going on for years.
Yeah.
With both the Israelis and the Americans. I read something, and I don't know if this is true, but they had hacked all of their traffic cameras, and so they could see where the travel of the imam, the Ayatollah, and where everybody was traveling. They knew where they were going. So this has been going on for years and years, and Israel's amazing with intel. I mean, they are phenomenal with intel. So was this something that was this obviously was something in the making in a long time, but do you think this attack was sped up, or were they just sitting waiting?
We've been planning things since I was a private in the U.S. Army, and during the late '90s, we had recognized what you're talking about, the idea that technology could be our friend, and we came up and we understood the technology to do the pager operation long before the Israelis figured it out. So that's all I can say on that. That we are way farther ahead than we can acknowledge, and
Okay.
it's significant. And I think what you're
So,
alluding to, I'm kind of surprised the Pentagon admitted it. Just saying, and it wasn't the CIA. Just saying. So
all
it
right. So,
was
because I have a lot of
way
questions,
further.
but I know the viewers have
Yeah,
questions as well. So I want to get to
yeah,
those.
sure.
So I was going to ask you to, okay, what I'm seeing here, and I don't know if Trump planned this out or knew they were going to do it, but Iran, with the shock and awe of the attack, just lashed out at every country in the region and just
Yeah.
bombed all of their neighbors, in civilian sites, hotels and things like that. Did our government project that they were going to do that, and that the response would be Zippo from China? And all of those Muslim countries in the surrounding area were like, oh, hell no, Iran. And they decided, and they're going to decide to join the fight if they have not done so already.
Yeah.
Was that foreseen? Because Trump sees everything like 3 steps ahead. So is that something that was foreseen, or is that just a very lucky development?
No, they kind of telegraphed that. As a matter of fact, Marco Rubio made comments to that effect yesterday. President Trump, in a news conference either yesterday, they said the same thing. It's like, look, we knew that if anybody attacked them, the Israelis, they were going to attack us and our allies. We knew that. So I don't think anybody was surprised. I think people were surprised on our side when they did it anyway, because those missile systems, all that targeting, that didn't happen overnight. The fact is, to actually do those attacks, Mary, the Iranians had to prep that at least a year in advance. You just don't say, "Oh, hey, let's fire into a hotel." You can't do that. You have to understand the location. They don't have GPS, so they have to use other technology to get it there, which means you have to do targeting. You have to have a very sophisticated series of things to get there. So the answer, even with ballistic missiles, you got to kind of know what grid square to hit it in. So these were all planned. These were all pre-planned. They just didn't wake up and say, "Oh, we're going to go strike out." This was their plan. So I think we knew
So
it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, but so do you think Iran thought that China was gonna come to their aid, or was just like this are death throes and we're going all in?
Well, apparently the surface to air, the air defense system the Chinese sold them didn't work very well. Just saying. One of the first day of the attack, I will never forget seeing a someone on the ground in Tehran with a phone camera videoing this F-15, Israeli F-15 flying over downtown Tehran. It's like, you don't see that every day, do you? And if an F-15 is flying over Tehran, that means nothing is working for them. That's a legacy aircraft designed in the '70s by John Boyd and his team. Great aircraft. I'm not dissing it, but the fact is, when you have an aircraft designed in 1979 flying over Tehran in 2026, it's not a good sign, and that's what happened. And so, but no, I think the Chinese are waiting to see what happens, because over 30% of the oil that China consumes comes through the Strait of Hormuz, and most of that is Iranian oil. And by the way, for the record, the Strait of Hormuz is not shut.
It is not.
Cargill Island that the Iranians use is now currently, as we speak, filling tankers up. So nobody can afford, especially the Iranians, to stop selling oil. Just saying. So that's an empty threat. They're not going to shut that down. It hurts them more than anybody else. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that we knew. I think that's why we had all of the surface to air defense systems on our side up and working. They don't work perfectly. We've had some strikes get in,
Right.
but I think that was anticipated. Yes.
All right. Let's see. Yitzhak says, do you think the Democrats understand worldwide jihad and that the removal of the Islamic regime benefits the world? Do they understand the amount of money we spend countering Islamic terror?
The Democrats the Democrats know it and they fund it anyway. Let's go back to Obama. There's a thing I tweeted today on my account where John Kerry, the Secretary of State, old Boltneck, as Chris Platt calls him, is on talking. He was asked about the joint agreed upon framework with Iran and the $58+ billion that the Iranians got. And the question was, do you believe this money will be only used for peaceful purposes? And he says, no, some of this is going to go to the IRGC, the Iranian guards,
Revolutionary Guard. Yeah.
Revolutionary Guard, and it'll be used for terror. So we knew that. We knew that. So if you have the Secretary of State saying as a matter of policy, yeah, we know. Of course they knew. And beyond that, they enabled a Islamic Brotherhood regime to take charge of Egypt back in 2012, because I was there in 2013 trying to help them sort through their new constitution after they threw them out. And this was all done. There was a Muslim Brotherhood office at the Office of DNI, the ODNI under Clapper. Just saying. And so there's no doubt that they know, but they somehow believe prompting this friction benefits them. And maybe it does because it gives them power. They get to have power to do this stuff. But the bottom line is this, Marion, you know this. Come on, gays for Hamas.
It's like Palestine. Yeah.
They would kill these people. They would kill all the people with purple hair and halitosis. Well, I don't know if they have halitosis. They probably do. But the quasi humans, they'd be all dead in the first moments of any Islamic control of any country. So.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Okay. Gregory asks, and thank you to everybody over on Rumble. Appreciate you so much. I really do. Gregory says, in addition to being the leader of Iran, the late Ayatollah was the head of Shia Islam in Iran.
Yeah,
do you think that Shiite Islamists will attempt to assassinate the Pope because he's American?
I don't think so.
Whoa.
No, the Pope is pretty well protected. You're Catholic, aren't
you? He's
man?
protected by God because he went to Villanova. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's protected by God.
I think the Catholic Church gave up a lot of their shenanigans in the old days. Wasn't it Pope Gregory that had orgies with his daughter? Nope, that's a different. It's a different.
Ew, Catholic I never heard that. Ew.
Oh, really? Well, the old days, they yes.
What were the old days?
The 10th century, back when the Catholic.
Oh, okay, Church so the 900s. Well, I'm sure things have changed since then.
I hope. Well, one would hope. Anyway, my point is that the Catholic Church is, I think, pretty well. He's got the Swiss Guards, and those guys are badass, even though they kind of wear kind of flowery uniforms. No,
I wear pantaloons.
That's right. The big issue with Shia is Sunni, and I think that's one of the things we recognized in our study of threat vectors is that the moment the Iranians had a credible nuclear weapon, well, probably a series of them. The Saudis, as the leader of the Sunni, had already purchased their weapons. They already had in Rawalpindi in Pakistan a warehouse full of Saudi purchased but not moved nuclear weapons, and they bought the delivery systems from the Chinese. So we knew that the moment that there was a credible threat, a nuclear threat from Iran, from the Shia, the Sunni were going to arm up as well. And you're going to have a nuclear conflagration. So that was our biggest worry. We're not out of the woods yet, but that's what our biggest worry was.
How long do you think this goes for? You said we're not out of the woods yet. I'm sorry if I got to get to I'm sorry. I got to get to their questions too, but how long?
I'd say we're going to be done by next week. We're running out of targets at this rate. The big attack's coming
You
right
know,
now. So
it's interesting that you say that because I'm watching the Democrats, screaming and yelling on Capitol Hill, and we're going to investigate, and we're going to subpoena, and we're going to have a vote, and Thomas Massey carrying their water and all this other stuff. And
I
I'm like,
like Thomas, but he's way off base on this. No, no friend.
he's way, I don't know what the hell happened to him, but you know what? Just become a Democrat and we'll take Fetterman. We'll do a switch. But I figure by the time they get Congress moves so slowly, by the time they get it done anyway, it's going to be over.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
all
of
going to
course.
be, we're not going to be talking about it. All right. Herman Sal says the Democrats might come up with triple standards because you said double standards. He also
Yeah.
said Mamdani is in charge of New York State now. Hochul is too politically frightened to oppose him. Right. But I think what she's going to do in order to get reelected is run as a moderate, and then she's going to give him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Um,
Hochul. Hochul. It's like something's caught in my throat when I say that. Hochul. So, by the way, did you see, before we get off did you see that she was the star of Plan 9 from Outer Space? Did you know that? Hochul? Go look
Never
at that.
saw
Look
it.
at the, you need to look it up because she was Vampirilla in that movie. So just Google it.
What's the
Vampirilla.
character's name? Vampirilla?
Plan 9 from Outer Space. Vampirilla.
Plan 9
You'll
from
see.
outer
You'll thank me.
space. Vampira?
Vampira.
Oh, yeah. With red hair. Oh my. Okay, I'm going to put this up here. Let me put this up. Let me see if I can share this. Hang on. Let me share screen.
She looks just like Vampirilla.
Share screen. Here it is. There it is. There it is.
That's her right there. There she is. See, that's her back in her younger days when she was still, well, I don't know if it's attractive or not, but at least she was acting. Well, she still acts. No, strike.
That's a hell of a look at that waist. That waist is impossibly thin. That's insane. That waist is crazy. That's insane. And
Plan 9 from Outer Space was her breakout role.
Stop. There's just something wrong with you, but I love it. Okay, let's see. Where were we? All right. Star Driver says I don't want Buc-ee's because they hate truckers and they don't want our business.
Well, they're not a truck stop. I mean, look, they have a certain business model that works. So I've been to some other places which do truck stops, and they're truck stops. I mean, they got room. Trust me, at a Buc-ee's, you don't have room for trucks because you have so many damn cars coming through.
Wow.
Just go, Mary. You'll see for yourself. So,
well, I'm going to have to leave the state and travel in order to go to one. So I don't know if hubby is going to be like, sure, honey, let's drive 3 states over to Kentucky, wherever, to go to a Buc-ee's. I
got
just
them in
don't see
Virginia
that.
now too. Virginia, I think they're going to come to North Carolina. They got it in South Carolina too. Anyway, they're moving out. They're moving. They're
all
expanding.
right. Yitzhak says, sidebar, the figurine behind Tony, what is the character?
On my left is Tony Stark as Iron Man.
Oh,
okay. That's what you're talking about.
I think that's what he's talking about. I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Because some of my fans believe that they call me Iron Man because of Tony Stark, so anyway, that's
there you go. I didn't even see that. Good eye there, Yitzhak. Wawa just opened in West Virginia. Wawa's the bomb. The left keeps calling it an illegal war. But that's what they're going to do. You're not going to get them to change that. It's all about the marketing. So that's what they're going to do. Now Tax USA says, I'll get on my soapbox. Americans have lost the meaning of being an American: life, liberty, property, self-ownership, the real pursuit of happiness. Until we start teaching this, we are lost. Do you agree with him? Have we lost the identity of America?
Well, that's what we do at Project Sentinel. We believe that we need to get back to basic constitutional governance, where, as a county commissioner, I spend a lot of time managing budgets. I'm on 5 different boards. It's all about, and as a Republican, I'm trying to basically maximize people's personal property rights and lessening any tax burden on them all the time. Now, I believe taxation is theft. I think there's other ways that you can generate income. I think President Trump is right about removing a personal income tax and putting it on tariffs and things like that. We did it before 1914. So I think we should go back to that. And I think that we need to recognize that property is free speech. That's part of the First Amendment. You have the right to maintain your property as an American and do with it what you want, to give it to people, to keep it, whatever you want. And of course, along with that Second Amendment goes without saying. So yeah, I think we have. Anytime you have the federal government, and I deal with budgets, like I said, the federal government should have no role in anything local, nothing. The idea that they're funding projects for homeless in San Francisco, no, that's up to the state and local officials to figure out. The federal government needs to go back to its basic core missions of common defense, common good. And I don't know what common good I get out of whatever they're funding in homeless funds in San Francisco. Just saying, it's not common to me.
Right.
So
The
the federal
problem
government
is
has
that
to go back.
once you start handing the money out, it's very difficult to take it back. Like there's
I
no end
know.
in sight for that. You can't do it. It's very hard. I don't know
Well,
why.
no, we're cutting it back. I mean, right now we're going through budgets for next year, and because of Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, there's cuts, and they're going to have to be managed. And the state of North Carolina is going to have to come up with some of the money, and so
Well,
I'm for that.
how about instead of cutting stuff, we actually cut the fraud? And
Well,
then because that's the bulk of our national debt is freaking fraud. That's a bulk. If we got rid of fraud, everybody could get their Social Security, everybody could get their Medicare. We wouldn't have to punish people who were responsible when they were younger and saved. We wouldn't be doing any of that. So if we could just cut the damn fraud, and for some reason, Democrats are in favor of fraud because I'm
because they
sure a
use
lot
it,
of that.
because they benefit
Right.
from it.
But
Yeah.
no, it's
So
being laundered. It's being laundered back into their
right.
campaigns. You don't think? I think it goes back
Exactly.
to their PACs.
Yeah. Scott Bissett has said that 21% of the checks that the Treasury writes, about
fraudulent.
$20 trillion is fraud.
And they said, and they're doing something that I love, that if you are wiring money overseas, you have to check a box or sign something that says that you're not on any kind of benefits.
Exactly.
Do you think that people who are committing fraud care about checking that box? No, of course not. It's not going to do
there
a
needs
damn
to be
thing.
validation. So the other thing I
Yes.
have learned from being on 5 different boards, to include 2 regional medical boards, a hospital board, a social services library. There are audits. If you're governing correctly, you have audits of everything, and you have to look at how things are spent. What I think in places where the Democrats control, they avoid the audits. They purposely avoid these things, Mary. So I'm just telling you, based on my experience, we run a very tight ship. I've gone through and had to validate 3 different audits in the last 2 months of organizations I'm on. So just saying, if
Yeah.
ways of doing it, but the Democrats don't want to do it because, to your point, they benefit from the fraud. So
Yeah. John Bofilari is over on Rumble, says hello. Suze wants me to talk to Oliver for him. Oliver, since on a side note, was first time he spent himself like time by himself while we were gone skiing for a week. We had the girls here, but he is the first time without like any other cats in the house or anything. And they work, so they were in and out, whatever. But he is so mouthy right now. Oh my gosh, he does nothing but scream. So he left the room. So I'm not going to call him back. Now, Beck is in Australia, and Beck said, I don't watch Channel 9 anymore. I only watch Sky News Australia.
Well, Sky News is good, but I like Channel 9. I mean, I know I'm surprised they had me on because I'm conservative and I don't hide it. So, it's kind of like interesting that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Art says, Lieutenant Colonel, given your intelligence history on the ground in Afghanistan, how long did the intel inside Iran take to get to the level of excellence in this mission so far?
Well, we've had intel on Iran, really good detail, because we've been planning to do what we've done the last 3 days for the past 30 years. Just saying, it's like, this is not new. We've done rehearsals, we've done exercises. There's been organizations I've been a member of where we've looked at how we would do an entry with ground troops, which we're not doing. I'm not saying it's coming. Don't take my words as like, oh, Shaffer said. It's like, we have had plans to do that. We're not doing that. So the intel is never stopped. As a matter of fact, it's been enhanced by the fact that I think we've learned how to use new technology to our benefit regarding what we call SCADA, supervisory control and data acquisition. When you talk about the system of traffic lights, that's SCADA, because those things are essentially are networked. Anything that's networked, if you can get access to it, you can run it. Just saying. So,
of course. All right. Yitzhak says the word is Trump has been arming the Kurds for a while. Was that part of the deal with Giuliani and the Kurbs to up ill back will arm you for the ground game in Iran for the Kurds?
So the Kurds have been our primary proxy on the ground. That included to defeat ISIS. The by with and through campaign in Iraq, run by my friend General Joe Dunford, determined back in Trump won in 2017, 18, used the Kurds as our primary proxy on the ground. That's not changed. And Erbil, we actually have a permanent base there now. And I think any ground activity will be led by the Kurds. The Kurds have always wanted their own country. Well, Kurdistan, the Kurdistan area that they want, includes Iran. Just saying, there's parts of Iran they want. So I think Benjamin Netanyahu and us have been talking to the Kurds about what they might want to do regarding finally moving out to do some things to destabilize Iran as part of what's going on. So I'm not saying we did or didn't. I'm saying it could have happened.
Well,
it could be happening.
How the Kurds could ever trust us, Clinton sold them out big time, and how the Kurds could ever trust us again is beyond me, but God bless them, they do. Portrait says, the Shah's grandson is a mentor to me. He took an interest when I started recruiting. I think very highly of the family. Cool. That's pretty cool. Herman says,
I've worked with members of the family. Some of them, yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about them. No, I had moved on. I know what you said. Go ahead.
Oh no, I've worked with some of the members of the Shah family who had become intelligence officers within Defense Intelligence. So they're very good. They're very good people from my experience. Just saying. So.
Yeah, well, we can thank Jimmy Carter for the current mess in Iran because he's the one who got rid of the Shah. Let's see. Herman says, I hear that the IRNG blinded a girl wearing eye makeup. I hope I heard wrong. I heard that as well. I don't know if that's true. Do you know?
I don't know, but there is no level of torture that
depravity
the Iranian wouldn't go to. Yeah, no doubt.
They're brutal. They're just brutal.
Oh yeah.
Laura says Tony is quite knowledgeable on this topic. She's very happy. Thank you, Laura. Tony, do you think the last missile volley of the IRGC will be nuclear?
All right, so
great question.
Yeah, so I got to be careful here. There was some new intel that has not been fully verified that what may have prompted our action now was a potential that the Iranians had reached out to a third party and ordered nuclear missiles, as in the whole thing. Now,
is that like Amazon? Is that like a black web version of Amazon?
I think you have to go to the Russian version of Amazon. I think the Russians have nuclears. So one of our fears, and I've been on a loose nukes task force back in 2010 and 11. We look at this as a intelligence community very deeply. We always try to understand where nuclear weapons are potentially at and where they may potentially go. So I'm not saying this happened. I'm saying that one of the potential tripwires was if the Iranians were about to obtain weapons of mass destruction which were usable. I believe the North Koreans gave them, the Iranians, nuclear weapons years ago, one or two, maybe two, with the idea that they would be able to copy them. Well, I don't think they were able to do that completely because there was always interference from the Israelis and us. And I don't think they were successful in figuring out a way to put a nuclear weapon on a missile. With that said, we could always be wrong. But I do know that despite what the mullahs have been saying about, we don't want nuclear weapons. Yes, they want nuclear weapons. And to quote my dear departed friend, Don Rumsfeld, there are unknown unknowns. And this may be one of them.
Very interesting. All right. So there's your answer. It's a great question. Sue says, I'm singing that song, Earworm. I have no idea what song she's talking about.
Bomb Iran. my friend Cherie Kerr sent me that a few days ago from the Runaways. So
I guess Tim is a racer because he's got Speed Racer as his picture. I think F1 needs to reschedule their races for Saudi and Bahrain in the month of April. You said this is going to be over by then, though, right?
It'll be over. Yeah, I don't think it's going to
Yeah.
Neither side has the ordinance to keep going more than a couple weeks. Just saying. So
Yeah. They launched the attack. Let's see. Blaming Spain and UK instead of Israel is weakness. This is Paresh Patel. What do you think?
well,
I
I don't
think
know
it's
blaming
apples
him
to
for what.
oranges.
Yeah,
And Israel's spelled wrong, so there's
yeah.
that, which drives me crazy. But
Well, no,
it's apples to
Spain is
oranges,
just
right?
Spain is being run by a communist, and I'm part Spanish, so I feel terrible about that. And then the UK, Keir Starmer is like nobody I know likes Keir Starmer, and the fact that they didn't
It's
respond
Chamberlain.
they didn't even respond to protect Cyprus, their own. It's like really, the Greeks had to send in F-16s to defend the British. Well, that's a change, but I don't, I think Keir's got his time left as leader of the UK is limited. I think to days.
Well, didn't he send like 13 soldiers to defend Greenland against the United States?
Yeah, he did. Well, that whole thing, just for the record, I think we need to be done. We need to be done with the special relationship because Canadians went against us on this too. It's like we're done. We don't need y'all because you don't want to come and help us. That's fine. Don't go away, man. Just go away. And I think it's time we take Greenland. It's like, okay, we're going to take Greenland. You guys can just move along. Thank you. So.
On a different note, and I will get to the rest of your comments, but have you noticed, has anyone else noticed that I posted this, I think yesterday, that the cartels in Mexico have just shut all the way up? Like they are they're quiet
They've
now.
gone to
Like
ground.
the shenanigans are done.
Yeah. Well, I wrote a book about all that. So for those who don't know, my second book, The Last Line, was the tagline is the drug war is about to become a real war, and someone named Pete Hegseth read it.
Wow, nice.
Just saying.
So
So
go ahead. So all right. So that happened there.
yeah,
On it, we'll go back to the questions. I promise. But
yeah.
so we've seen Cubans now marching in the streets of Miami and everywhere else going, please, please, because Trump is collecting a dictator a month. So April's free. So in April, do you think he's going to go after Cuba?
I think Cuba's going to fall on its own. They went from 60,000 barrels of gas a month to about
Yeah.
5 because we've shut it
Yeah.
all off. Basically between Mexico shutting off their 20,000 and Venezuela shutting off their 30,000, they're getting between 5 and 10 from other sources, and it just can't last. So I think at
Why
this
isn't
point,
Russia supporting them?
Russia has no interest and ability. I mean, they don't. For the Russians to get back involved, which they have no interest in. By the way, I mean, Russia really isn't communist anymore. They do use these countries, but they really have no interest in supporting Cuba at this point. They've got their
What
hands
about
full with
China?
Ukraine.
What about China?
China doesn't care
I
about.
thought China would want a foothold that close to our shore, though, wouldn't they?
They were constituting Lourdes Station. It's a SIGINT station down there that the Russians had put together, but that fell off too because of certain things we had done, I think, in the area. So that really didn't work out for them. Just saying.
Herman said, could it be that Iran attacked neighboring Arab states to intimidate them to join the fight against America and Israel?
Well, in the past, the Iranians have been able to intimidate their neighbors by using brute force and terror, that no doubt. But one of the concepts that people have to understand about the Arab and Persian culture is the image of the strong horse. I know most of the folks here probably don't watch Al Hurra, which was our Voice of America element that did broadcasting. As a matter of fact, it was part of the Middle East Broadcasting Corporation. Surprisingly independent and good. I mean, I've been on Al Hurra all the time. I went to Egypt first time, Mary. People knew me from being on Al Hurra. I was like, really? So,
Never heard of
but my
it.
point being is that the imagery used in Al Hurra, which was a choice, is a horse, a stallion running fast, and the strong horse is a great symbology for leadership in the Middle East. So the Persians and Arabs both tend to follow the strong horse. That's a metaphor, but the Iran is no longer the strong horse. So I don't think you're going to see any of these nations being intimidated by their antics. Plus, Iran is being defunded. they've lost their ability to actually be a regional terror. I mean, the money that the Obamas gave them, it's running out. So, and they're not making money off of oil. So,
Yeah. Yitzhak says Iran recently put up 3 low Earth orbit satellite communications, missiling position, and guide sats.
um, even if that's true, we know how to make those things not work.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
That's all I can say.
Could it be password target acquisition? Portuguese Farm says Iran's lashing out has been discussed for a while. CBN has been discussing this as a possibility for a
Yeah.
while, so they kind of figured that that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. M. Tringali says hello, Tony.
Oh, Mary. Hey, Mary.
Oh, you know that. Okay, good.
I know Mary.
Hi,
Yeah,
Mary.
she's wonderful. She does all the stuff you see posted on my Facebook page from Newsmax. She's the one that posts it. So God bless you, Mary. Thank you for doing that.
She does your posting. How do I get somebody from Newsmax to do my posting for me?
She's
do I
not
have to
Newsmax.
do it?
She just does it. She's a great citizen, and she records it and posts
Oh,
it.
you got people. Look at you. Tony's got people.
I have
Although I
people
will
who
say
are very loyal.
Rebecca and Sal and Greg and Ron. There's a bunch of regulars here who repost my stuff for me on X. So thank you. I got people too.
That's good.
Rebecca says, I much rather thought that John Kerry looked like one of the Madame Tussauds wax dummies that has been left out in the sun too long. You know, I don't know. I like to make a lot of fun of people's looks because they can't help it. It's what God gave them. And by the way, I do not have like something wrong with my face. I know I keep the cat's hair because I have a heater at my feet. Blue. So now it's on my microphone. It's everywhere. And I've got cat hair everywhere. So it's very itchy. So I don't have some kind of disease. Shouldn't the DOJ indict, I think it means indict, Kerry types for knowledgeable and willful misfeasance to the point of treason, a willful lowering of American national security?
Well, I would, but I'm not there, and I don't think I'm going to ever be brought in. I mean, I've been asked about several positions that I've declined. I'm not going back, just for the record. Quit asking me. I'm not going back. I've told them what I'm willing to do to be helpful. One of the areas was Department of Justice, and I feel that the Department of Justice is not being adequately aggressive in going after people like John Kerry, who I think not only willfully committed sedition, I think he committed treason by passing intelligence to Iran during critical times of negotiations. I think that old Boltneck, as Chris calls him, needs to be spending the remainder of his days not on a yacht, but in Leavenworth, making big rocks into little ones. So
it's not going to happen. Beck had to go. She said she'll catch the rest of the show on replay. She said it's been very interesting. Thanks so much, Beck. You're the best. God Star Driver says God is the guy on Overwatch with the 50 cal sniper. Hermit, God received his PhD from Villanova, I think. He was undergrad at Villanova and a part of TK, one of the fraternities. I think it was Teak.
Isn't Villanova a party school? Did he do like beer bongs? Could the Pope do beer bongs back in the day?
It used to be a party school, and then they really cracked down. People call it Vanilla No Fun. Villanova Fun. Because they really, really, really cracked down. When I was there, it was just the end of the party school. And like each year as I went along, you had less and less and less and less. So,
well, we had a party school back when I went at Rice State University in Dayton, Ohio, named after the Wright brothers, obviously. We had this Ratskeller that served beer on campus, and then they went and changed the law, and you had to be 21 to drink. But it was great.
Well, that's the problem with Pennsylvania was 21, and everybody underage was drinking. Yeah.
And we used to have 2 skip days where everybody would skip. It was called May Days and October Days. And it's in like days, like when you're dazed. And it was official skip days. And everybody would go out and get drunk on the campus. It was great.
So we used to get St. Patrick's Day off, Catholic school. And they rented 1 year, freshman or sophomore year, maybe it was junior. They rented buses, and they would send like anybody who wanted to go to New York City. You could go to New York City, and you just had to pay whatever the bus cost was. And then it was up to you to make it back to the bus. If you didn't make to the back, and a group of us did not make it back to the bus, they had like 7 or 8 buses, which is Villanova students. They just disgorged them into the city, and you had to figure it out. And we wound up going with this one guy, Juan Perez Vega. Juan, his family lived out on Long Island, and he took like this whole group of women back to his parents' house because we missed the bus. And his dad had to take us back to the train station so we could get back to Philly. But yeah, we used to get St. Patrick's Day off, which is kind of nice. All right. Yitzhak says, did Massey take Cutter money as well?
I don't know. I don't think so. Thomas, I know Thomas. I don't think he'd ever take any foreign money, period. I don't think
Okay, you know him.
Thomas
What's
is a,
going
is a
on? Does
sincere
he
guy.
hate Trump? What's going
I
on?
no, I used to be the national security advisor to the Freedom Caucus, and uh, we had a lot of meetings and discussed things. And I was very close to the late Walter Jones. Walter and I were very close friends. He was a friend and mentor. And Louis Gohmert, Thomas Massey, Ron DeSantis, Mark Meadows, Tulsi Gabbard would show up at these things in the old days. She was the only Democrat, for the record, that would show up at these things. But Thomas is always a libertarian. He's a big believer in the Bill of Rights. He like many libertarians somehow believe that any military action has to be approved in advance by Congress, and it doesn't. It's not. Article 2 of the Constitution does not frame the foreign affairs of the nation to be validated beforehand by the Article 1 folks, the Congress folks. Just saying. So it's I consider Thomas a friend, but he's wrong on this issue. So
I don't know what's wrong with Kentucky. It's him and Rand Paul all the time. Just seem to be going in the whatever Trump wants, they go in the opposite direction.
Rand got it from his dad, Ron.
I know.
Basically, I don't know if you remember, John Stossel had me come on his show to debate Ron Paul when he ran for president. So this was back when I was still in good stead with Fox, and it was on Fox Business. And
I remember.
Yeah. So anyway, I debated, and look, Rand Paul and Ron Paul all feel somehow that we should not be giving, for example, freedom of the sea passage rights to the world. It's not our job. We don't get paid for it. Yeah, we don't get paid for it, but we benefit greatly from having the entire world trading. It is in our interest to do that. So things like that, we disagree on big time. So
the world is not as black and white as they see it. All right, here we go. Very quickly, a debate over the various truck stops over your Buc-ee shirt. Watching your back says Buc-ee's is 7-Eleven and Walmart rolled into one. So we have 7-Elevens. Wawa kind of took over 7-Eleven, and now we're getting quick checks too. We've always had 7-Eleven and quick check, and then Wawa came on the scene, and then that just took everything over. We have a Walmart. The only Walmart we have near us is like half an hour away. So
mine too. I live a half an hour away from the closest Walmart too. Yeah.
Not a big Walmart kind of girl because I don't have one. Vampira, she sadly passed away January 10th of 2008. So there you go.
Well, I think they use the DNA for Hochul. Just saying.
Yitzhak says, yes, I thought that was Iron Man. Art says, Love's truck stop is meant for truckers.
Buc-ee's is great.
Is never been in one of
those.
Love's
is great.
Buc-ee's is made for white people who want to drop $300 while gassing up their cars.
So there's a law in most states says you cannot leave Buc-ee's without spending $300 to $500 per stop. Just saying.
Now I go when I'm traveling, and especially when I was driving back and down, to Washington, D.C., there was a Pilot on one side and a Flying J on the other side of 295. And that's where I always went because I don't pump my own gas. So I'd have to get it just before I left the state of New Jersey. And then as soon as I got back in the state of New Jersey, because I don't pump my own gas. So I would always go to Flying J or Pilot. And those were just fine for me because their bathrooms are always very, very clean. And people are really nice and in and out. And that's it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Charlemagne says the Buc-ee's I went to in Alabama needed cops on the freeway to direct traffic. Well, that just doesn't sound fun at all. That doesn't sound like fun.
I'm telling you. Well, normally in most places, Buc-ee they do have the cheapest gas. Like they undercut everybody else by the price of gas, which creates huge volume. They make up the low price by volume, and that's how they do it. So just saying.
Yeah, I guess maybe there's just not a lot of other things going on in these areas. So they take, hey kids, let's go to the truck stop or let's go to the gas station, and they put the whole kids in the car. You need to go check
for
the day.
Buc-ee's is an experience. You need to go experience it. Really, seriously, you'll know.
I don't think we'll get one in New Jersey because they just sound like they're huge, and I just don't know where you're going to put it. So, all right.
Isn't that what Ron Jeremy said? That's a different conversation.
The poor man's dead. And you're aging yourself. There's a whole bunch of people who could be watching this going, who? Sal
I'm
says,
hoping they say who.
here in New York City, property rights are viewed upon as racist. Yeah, that's what they want to do. Ron says
They
you have to.
voted for it. Y'all voted for it. If you live in New York, you voted for
But the
that.
problem is the liberal elites who voted for it are going to pick up and move to New Jersey, or they're going to move to Pennsylvania, or they're going to go down to North Carolina, or they're going to go to Delaware, and they're going to vote for the same crap that they fled in New York because they never connect their vote with the outcome ever.
So, and to the school issue, yeah, we're right now down here where I live. The school board is now in charge. Is the director of the school board is a retired Army colonel, and I'm a county commissioner. My neighbor, Lori Buckout, who I'm literally pointing at, and she lives about a half a mile across the field from me. We live on an active
Hi,
farm. By the way.
Lori.
Lori may win the primary tonight. I don't know. We have the primary here. So and by my neighbor George is the guy that runs the school board. So within like a grid square, we may all be kind of doing political stuff, and we're going to fix the schools. We're already working on that. So
Good. Hermit says, hit the like button and subscribe. Here we go. Hey, Greg. He says, hit this icon at the bottom of the window. Yes. Please hit the thumbs up for the love of God. I don't understand how, like right now, there's 2 thumbs up over on Rumble, and there's a whole bunch of you on there, and 2 thumbs up. So it will not kill you to hit the thumbs up. I don't understand.
exactly.
Every week, I got to beg for this. Just hit the dopey thumbs up. If you go back and watch older episodes, please hit the thumbs up. If you listen to them on Amazon or Apple or Apple, Spotify or Spreaker, hit the thumbs up, please. Please. I don't ask for anything from you. I ask for nothing. I got wonderful slippers from Rebecca, but I don't ask for gifts. I don't ask for anything.
So Mary, I'm doing this on air, so you will have a record of this. We do a lot of stuff over on my social media. We're using X now as our primary platform, where we're doing a deep dive. As a matter of fact, we have my friend John Bachman. Let me do a plug for John. We're having John on our deep dive Thursday this week because he wrote a book on Ronald Reagan called Turning Point. And I helped him write a little bit. I got Ed Meese and my dear friend Dr. Chris Lehman, who was the nuclear weapons advisor to Ronald Reagan, to help. It's all about Grenada, and the turning point of the war. So we're having John on this Thursday at 8:00, and you're invited to come on. We do a deep dive on Wednesdays, like a live chat on Wednesdays where we just do kind of round robin stuff, and then we do a Sunday debrief where we do a deep dive into an hour because people get tired after that. And by the way, I'm not a sports guy, so I don't care about what's going on in football. Anyway, we'd go through and talk about national security stuff.
Well, listen, everybody, follow him, T Spooky on X, and they can watch it on X, right?
Yeah, they can watch it on X. Yeah, we're consolidating everything on X as a platform.
X. Okay, great. All right. Yes, hit the like and subscribe button. Yes, please, for the love of God, it's free. Let's see, because we got to go here. Now Tax says, good point, Tony. 16th Amendment can tax 1 to 100% of our income. Does that not nullify the Constitution? Without income, property, and wealth, you have no right except to complain.
Exactly. No, I believe that the tax, especially right now, there is no link between taxation. Basically, the appropriation process does not actually match spending. We spend more money than the federal government takes in taxes. So my question to you, Mary, and your audience, if the federal government doesn't need our money because they just print it, then it becomes simply a penalty to us. It's like, why you need our money? You don't need our money because you just print it. And I think it's harassment. It limits individual freedom by the fact that you have to do this. And I don't know how long it takes you to do your taxes. I have to, because we're entertainers, we're professionals. I write off everything. This t-shirt's being written off because I use it for work. You can write off stuff. Just the time it takes to take advantage of all the laws, that is hours of time. And not, to me, that's a penalty. Why should I have to justify my spending my money on things that benefit me and my professional life? Why should I report to the government? I think the founding fathers would be appalled by this.
Agree, but we've paid someone to do our taxes. We have LLCs, and
I pay people, but I still got to give them the inputs.
I pay people, right? You got to get everything together, so it's pain in the butt. But if you ever simplify taxes or got rid of income tax or that type of thing, you would put thousands, tens of thousands of people out of business, and that's why they won't do it. It's kind of like why they won't let us pump our own gas in New Jersey. You put people out of business. And it's the one perk I have here. So I really, really like the fact that I can just roll down the window, say, fill it up regular, please. And that's it. And the man,
I
and I
thought it
hand
was
him my credit
because
card.
Amy Schumer showed up at the state one time and poured gas on herself, and they said, "Well, we can't have that happen." So,
Did she?
I don't know. She's a Schumer, so
Oh,
who knows?
oh, okay. God.
You
All
know,
right,
they
Star
they try to
Driver.
they cook things. I mean, they put hamburgers on the grill and pretend they cook them. Just saying. So I don't know.
That's true. Star Driver says, I'm in the Mooresville area. Or are you in that part of North Carolina? You don't have to say what city you're in.
No, I've said it. I'm in Edenton. I'm a county commissioner. You could look it up at Chowan County.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in
So it's easy. All right.
yeah, it's public information. I'm an elected official, and we're on the eastern part of the state, eastern North Carolina, just south of Elizabeth City.
So Yitzhak says, is it going to be Pavlavi or Rajavi or Kurds? I think we made a deal with Erdogan as well to let the Kurds loose in Iran. And he wants to know also, are we looking at a carve up of the country?
Well, I don't know. I mean, partition was proposed for Iraq. The question becomes governance. Who can govern? We don't want a Libya. We don't want a Syria. We don't want a failed state. So that becomes the issue. And obviously, if they have nuclear weapons or any material left, we don't want that falling into the wrong hands either. So the answer is it could be any one of the above. I think it's one of those things. I love. Don't take this as a criticism of President Trump, but it kind of is. Trump just kind of does what he wants when he feels the time is right. So, you know, he could put the Board of Peace in charge of this for all I know. I don't know.
Listen, I think I've learned, and I'm sure you agree, he does nothing he does is by accident. He
No.
plans everything out with a look to 4 moves down the
Yeah.
chessboard. And
Absolutely.
he knows exactly how this is going to turn out. Watching Your Back says a good book to read about the beginnings of the Iranian Revolution is On Wings of Eagles by Ken Follett. I've read books by him, but not that one.
Not that one. I haven't read that one.
Let's see. Does Tony know how Giuliani got hooked up with the MEK? I find it to be very odd.
I don't know. And I know Rudy and I are friends, and I have no idea, and I've never asked him. By the way, I stayed away from all that stuff. One of the things you learn as an intelligence officer, you always learn to recognize bad juju. That was bad juju. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be anywhere around whatever's going on with that. So the guy that probably knew would be Bernie Carrick. God rest his soul. Bernie's passed, so I don't. He'd probably be the guy that would have known. So
I don't know anything about that. We don't have time to ask. So I just look up
and
Giuliani.
taxes are a way of controlling people. To answer the question, yes, I agree.
Yes. Okay. Are the Iranians have MIRVs? Are the nukes mounted?
So again, this is not confirmed. So the information I got was that the Iranians in frustration recognized they were never going to be able to basically build their own nuclear weapons within the time frame they had left, and they recognized pretty early on that with Trump in office, they weren't going to have time to move forward with a lot of things. Just saying, they found out pretty quick that Trump does not mess around. So I think out of desperation, they went to a third party. I don't know which one exactly yet, so I don't want to speculate or put information out there that may be inaccurate. But a nation which has both nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles, I think the Iranians asked them to make them some, and I think that act may not have been fulfilled. So I don't believe at this point they have viable, as in usable nuclear weapons, and I don't think they would have had MIRVs. MIRVs are a completely different standard, multiple independent reentry vehicles, MIRVs. That's what that is, and that is a whole different level of. I'm glad you have my book. Thank you. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have both of them, The Last Line and Dark Heart. But MIRV technology is very sophisticated. The Chinese didn't even get it till the Clintons sold it to them back in the 90s. Just saying. So.
Yeah. Star Driver says we need to reprise Operation Linebacker and just do it for one more day. I don't know what that means.
I do. So I studied as a kid. You're going to laugh at this. I grew up. My dad was a maintenance officer on the F-4 Phantoms flying out of Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines. So as a kid, I got to watch these things. My dad took me to work one day, and I've actually got one of the F-4 that my dad worked on. He wasn't a pilot; he was a maintenance officer. But come here. Hold on, I got a guest I want to show you. I got Manny. Manny, my friend Manny is
What
here.
the hell is that? It looks like a chicken.
He's kind of a chicken-like. He's a Sphinx cat. Anyway,
Yes,
this
a
is Manny.
hairless.
Hi, Manny. Yes, he's very loving.
He looks
Nuts.
thrilled. He loves
He's
being
like a
there.
little monkey. He's like a nuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
look
see,
at
he's
that.
giving
Look at
everybody
there.
the high.
There we go.
Yes,
There's
yes.
the
Yeah.
big Jim and the
Oh,
twins
there he
there.
is.
Okay.
There. Yes, I know. I love him too. By the way, I don't know if you know this. If you kill a Bond villain, you get to keep the cat. Just saying. So
Oh.
that's the way I get these things. Yeah. See, they're great companions. Anyway,
All right.
the answer is regarding Mervs. What were we on? Was it Mervs, or we can move off Mervs? There we go.
Yeah, well, let's just go. Well, let's move on because we have so much to get to. I just want to really quickly get to. So I'm gonna be like going fast through the comments. So sorry, guys. Instead of us taking over Greenland, why can't diplomats work out whatever needs to be worked out?
So Greenland is a possession of Denmark, and besides making really good cookies, which I had some earlier today, made in Denmark, the Danes don't have much. And it's an issue of pride more than anything else. We have a space base. We have more facilities in Greenland than any other nation does. And that's when I saw this NATO deployment, is like, we have more cooks in Greenland than they have NATO troops. Like this. So it's like, yeah, it's so the bottom line is, we can take over Greenland in a heartbeat, and it wouldn't take anything more than this, increasing our deployment. Just saying. So
I think it should be mutual. I think they should like vote or give it to us. I don't like the idea of taking it over. Don't think that's necessary. Good question here from Gregory. Will Hezbollah drive up without Iran's funding?
They have. They pretty much have. Yeah, that's why they've been so demure. They've been very sedate because they don't have money.
Right.
And that money has been cut off. And the Israelis, as of today, want it further into Syria and Lebanon, not Syria, into Lebanon, to start continuing to reduce them as a threat. So
Mary said, thank you, by the way. She said, thank you, Tony. Nice compliment. And she also said, Tony has lots of info on 9/11. He wrote an Operation Dark Heart. Oh, I know all about, we have talked so many times about Operation Dark Heart. I have my copy of that book somewhere. And my producer at the time loved it. Yes, there it is. There it is. Great read. Everybody should read it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I always note, and of course the subline was the path to victory, which they didn't take the path to victory. Just saying.
Art says we need an all Lieutenant Colonel GOP ticket in 28, Weston Shaffer all the way.
I like Colonel West. We're friends. Yeah, he's a great guy. Well, the other guy we had to bring in is Blaine Holt. He's a good general, Blaine Holt. So Blaine is a good guy too. He's a constitutionalist, just like us. So.
All right. Yitzhak says, Pam Bondi, she's deep state. I'm so convinced. Is she really there mentally? She's slow. Is she like slow? And she's too worked as an agent for Qatar. Trump has surrounded himself with compromised folks. I've already given my thoughts on Pam Bondi. What are yours?
Yeah. So I'd fire Pam if I were the president, because the moment you have to tweet out for her to take action, one category I do know, and Tulsi's put information out there, Tulsi Gabbard, about John Brennan, James, Bill, Comey,
Clapper, Comey, and Brenner.
Clapper, Comey, all those guys, they have all violated any number of laws regarding a number of citizens. And the fact that she has not been able to get one indictment speaks volumes of where her head is at. And I don't know what Kash Patel is doing either, just saying. So,
I think one of the reasons they can't get indictments is because the juries are so compromised, because they put up their hand and say
move it to a different venue.
Yeah, but exactly. Here's the thing, and I've said this before. I don't think Trump can. I think she's in over her head. I spoke to people that you and I know who told me that she's in over her head, and that Trump can't fire her because he can't get anybody else confirmed. He's never going to get another. So what does he do? He gives the fraud investigations to Vance. He gave Harmeet Dillon has the voter fraud investigations, right? So they're parsing it up and giving different things to other different people to do them.
They are doing that. Yes, I know that for a fact, and I can't comment on how
can't do it.
Yes,
it's sad, and he knows he can't get anybody else confirmed.
I do know that they're doing that. Yes, there's other task forces being formed right now too. So
Rebecca says, I'm a Gen Xer who will be turning 46 on Thursday. So yeah, I know who Ron Jeremy is. Rebecca's the one who made the slippers.
Yeah. Ron Jeremy would have fit right in with the Bill Clinton administration. I don't know why they didn't bring him in as some sort of secretary. I don't know why.
That would have been hilarious. Did you see him looking at those pictures when he was testifying, and he's like, let me see this, and he's like, dude, and his lawyer took it away from him, and he goes, no, wait a minute, and he wanted to see something else. I'm like,
Have you as well?
Yeah.
There was some. I mean, the guy lied again. It's like, have you ever lied under oath? No. Well, you were disbarred for lying under oath. The Monica Lewinsky thing. It's like, dude, it's on the record.
And did anybody say anything to him about that?
No.
Cindy says, we listen on Art's computer, but I run you on my phone the same time, so you get extra likes. Thank you.
And
Let's
it's like
see. Art
stereo,
says,
quadraphonic.
there you go. Art says, this show cannot end until you know who makes an appearance. I don't know where he is. I got to text him real quick because we're way over time here, but this has been such an interesting conversation, and I knew it was going to be way over time. Let me see.
I'm avoiding going to an event I'm supposed to be at, just saying. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. I don't want to go. It's okay. This is a great excuse not to go. And
Convention of States.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I'm a big believer in Convention of States. I think
I know. I wanted to dial you because I wanted you to come down here because your presence is requested.
The issue of
yes,
we should never. As a county commissioner, I'm speaking.
Okay.
We can't exceed our budget. We have to be very careful and good stewards of the taxpayer dime.
Yes.
We're going through reevaluation right now of housing values. Man, oh man, is that a pain? And we have to do it every 4 years. So people go nuts when all of a sudden their house is now worth double the amount, and they're going to be taxed on the amount that the value, not on what they paid for it. Trust me, this is a huge issue. So there's no way the federal government should have a blank check, literally, and just do whatever the hell they want. That's how you get USAID and all these other things, which basically are unfunded and manipulated. Just saying.
So. I agree. Bring back big balls and Doge. All right, come here. This is for Art. Art is in a love affair with my husband. He's having a romance with my husband.
Hey, Art.
Say hello to Tony.
Hey.
Oh, Tony. Yeah, you too.
Hi.
Goodbye. Art and my husband have a bromance going, but I agree with you. You know, there's so we need to redo. You can take this back. We need to bring Doge back and really actually do what they said. Sue says, I love this guy. Woot woot. Let's see. I forgot it was Tuesday. Manglemush just rolled in here. Hello, Manglemush. Who will govern Iran until elections are held, if there are elections?
Well, so again, Palavri, the son of the Shah, has offered to come back in to be kind of the interim government. There have been plans with the Iranian Congress to put this all together. There's multiple groups that I think they're trying to get together. Theoretically, if the government of Iran collapses, the current one, the theocracy, there would be folks who could come in pretty quickly and help out. It's not going to be us. It's not going to be the United States. So I think that may be the best bet.
Yeah. Let's see. Chat for the boxing gloves. Carter Survivor 999, who is Scott. Carter says it's like a rumble. Leave the chat for the boxing. Look for the boxing gloves under Mary. The boxing gloves under me. I don't know what that means. Let's see. I don't know anything about Epstein. Funny, Epstein visited the White House 17 times. Clinton said, I don't know anything about Epstein. All right. So everybody's saying, oh, Yitzhak says, yep, hubby was here. You got a shout out, babe. Great show. Tony's a great guest and fellow conservative North Carolina guy. Follow him on X at @TSpooky. And he's got some great podcasts coming up Thursday. What time?
So Thursday, 8:00, we're doing a deep dive with my friend, John Bachman, Newsmax guy.
Okay.
Wrote this great book, Turning Point.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
be talking about
this.
Yeah. We'll be talking about his book and about who was all in it and how he got the information. And then
okay, great.
We do on Wednesdays, tomorrow at noon, just a show like this. We just get together and have conversations. People can interact and all that. And that's on my X. You can get the information on my X. And then Sundays at 8:00 for subscribers only, because we have to have something special. We do a deep dive on 3 topics, and I have my friend Blaine Holt, General Holt, and Navy Captain retired Pete O'Brien. And then we have other people show up as we need to augment what we're doing. But that's mostly national security. But, people want to know what's going on. We have very colorful conversations about what's going on. And obviously they're uncensored because, that's the best way to do it.
Well, when you have Mary tweet that out for you, have her tag me in it, and then I'll retweet it. And I know all these guys will retweet it as well. So
Well, you should come on with us. So I don't know when you're available, Mary, but obviously we're just getting the rhythm going. But well, I'll have Chris Cordani reach out to you because Chris is the guy that coordinates all this. Because I'm just the guy that
You've
shows up.
got people. It's so exciting. I don't know anyone who has people.
I don't know if it's exciting. It's but Chris is he runs things. He's like the Ed McMahon of my organization. So
of your life.
More sober. Well, he went through Ed McMahon school, and he survived the washing up on Santa Monica Beach, the event. So it was good, and he was he had finished a fifth of bourbon, so that he passed that. So it was good.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Ed McMahon? You didn't know about Ed McMahon drinking constantly?
No, and I didn't know about the Pope and the orgy either. I don't know what history books you're reading.
Yeah, well, you've been living under a rock.
Wait, what happened to Ed McMahon?
Gregory, yeah.
No, I want to know about Ed McMahon washing up on the beach drunk. What?
It's a joke.
Oh, it's a joke. I thought you were serious. I'm like, wait, Ed McMahon? He was a very nice man who everybody thinks.
He wasn't nice. He was a Marine too. Just say it. No, it's a joke. Ed McMahon.
See, because everybody thinks Ed McMahon brought you the big check for People's Publishers Clearinghouse, and he didn't. He was not involved with Publishers Clearinghouse. Everybody thought he was. He was not. He was not the guy who brought the big check to your house. And I was always disappointed when he passed. I was like, oh, now if I went Publishers Clearinghouse, by the way, is gone. Did you hear what happened with them? I used to enter that every single day. I did Publishers Clearinghouse online because you just sit there and just do it. They ran out of money and they had to tell people, so sorry, you're not getting the money you want.
It happens. Over promising. Don't want to do that.
So it's a good thing, I guess, that
someone who did not overpromise is still around from the Tonight Show is Doc Severinsen. He's still around doing concerts in his 90s.
I saw him. Okay, so I saw Doc Severinsen in concert in Texas in the 80s. One of my first jobs, and my secretary, the woman who ran the office and really did everything for me. I had people then. She had tickets to go see Doc Severinsen. I'm like, all right, let's go. It wasn't bad. It was fine, but it wasn't like one of those things I was like, oh, cool, let's go see Doc Severinsen. But it was very nice. So, all right, we got to run. Thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate you. You're fantastic. Don't forget to follow him, T Spooky, super easy. That's where everything is on X. And don't forget to get his books, Operation Dark Heart. I can never say that. Dark Heart. And what's the other one?
Last Line.
Last Line. Yes. Get both of his books. All right. And we'll see you.
Yeah. And Ken Cuccinelli wrote a book about The Last Line too, but they're different books. Just saying. So.
Just the same title. You should have gotten a better title than his.
Mine out before his. He copied me.
Well, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. My mother always used to say. All right, thank you so much, Tony.
Yeah, and I've been on Town Hall. Larry, our friend Larry's had me on Town Hall with him before. So
okay. All right, great. Yeah, we'll put it all up there. We'll tag me in it, and we'll retweet it for you.
Thanks for having me, Mary. You got a great audience. They're really like smart people.
Aren't they? I like to, look who's here. Hello, Oliver. I like to think that they're wonderful and amazing, but thank you for being available. When everything was happening, I'm like, who can I get? And I was like, Tony, and you were available. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much,
This is the first evening I've had off from Mothership Newsmax. So yeah, it's been kind of a long weekend. So yeah.
So good. All right. Well, I'm glad you spent it with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, my friend.
All right. Bye. Thanks, Mary. Take care. See y'all later.
Take care. Bye. All right, everybody. So my schedule this week, I don't know if I'll be doing any Newsmax, but you can always follow me on X at Mary Walter Radio, and also Rumble and Getter and YouTube and True Social. I posted everywhere. And of course, please tell everybody, please hit the up button. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. It doesn't take that much to do. So please do it. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys are the best. You do ask really, really great questions. I will be in for David Webb on Thursday from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern time on Sirius Patriot XM channel 125, and the same channel the next day from 6 to 9 a.m. I'm in for Mike Slater on Breitbart News Daily. So hopefully I'll see you there. And if not, I will see you back here on Tuesday. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanks. Bye.